Hello, Steve White, Trekboy 89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, I want to talk about Coda and the expanded Star Trek universe for a moment. Now, I didn't realize what happened. I'd heard about this trilogy of books called Coda, and I thought they were just concluding a storyline that had been running in Star Trek for a few years. And I didn't pay much attention to it because I was paying attention to other things. And I haven't read the Star Trek novels for years. I grew up reading them as a teenager. I used to have a whole bookshelf full of Star Trek novels behind me, but I replaced them with ebooks. And I was planning to get back into it at some point. But I can't now because they destroyed the whole universe. I'm not exaggerating. I just realized this happened. I saw a podcast from someone the other day. They mentioned this. I'm like, what? They did that? I was really shocked. Basically, the Star Trek novels came about in the 70s to fill the gap between the original Star Trek series and the motion picture, and then the motion pictures, and then the motion picture and Next Generation, and then the actual era between the fictional era between the Next Generation and the original series and that. And it was great. I spent many afternoons and summer days reading Star Trek novels and boldly going where no one has gone before in my imagination, thanks to the literature. It was amazing. And this sort of grand tradition of Star Trek literature and books that have this expanded universe. And even though they stopped making Star Trek in 2005, they were still making the novels, and the novels were sort of weaving their way around the events of the series before they ended, and the various series. And it was great because those universes still existed. Those characters were still living. They still had lives. Things were still happening. It was great. But unfortunately, the people at Bad Robot and Secret Hideout and CBS and Paramount, who are producing a different product now, set in a different universe due to copyright and IP and everything, they couldn't handle, the old Star Trek continuing to live through literature, so they had to end it. They had to literally destroy that universe. So now the only books that are being made in the Prime universe. And the Prime universe is not the original canon Star Trek universe that they tried to lead us to believe. They didn't fool some people back in the day when they made the JJ films. When they made the JJ films, they originally thought they just had to change a timeline and they could work within the timeline and they'd still be working within the overall Star Trek universe. And CBS said, no. You can have the rights to your own little pocket universe that you create that has to have its own look, own characters, own everything, and nothing that you create or produce can be confused with or compete with what we're selling, because we're making billions over here from the Star Trek universe that already exists. So you can't work in our universe. You can create a pocket universe, go work in that, and that's it. So they did that, and they expanded that out to the Discoveryverse. And they fooled people into thinking that the Prime universe that we briefly saw in the Star Trek film from 2009 actually was the original canon universe, which it wasn't. It was the Prime universe, which is their version of that. But they couldn't just leave it alone because they're continuing on with that universe, and basically we've got a series of novels from the other old universe that's keeping that alive. So they had to kill it basically, and basically now all we get is novels from the new era. So the next novel I think we're getting is one about how 7 of 9 was abandoned by the Voyager crew after Voyager and was hunted by Borg hunters, because now in Star Trek's dystopian future, the Federation and humanity's racist against other races like the Borg, and they're holding a grudge from all the past battles with the Borg, and they're hunting and killing Borg individuals, and it's just ugly dystopian stuff that doesn't fit in Star Trek, and that's what they do now. And it's just really sad to realize they did. I didn't realize they'd done this. I thought that universe was going on, and they were happy for us to at least have that universe continue on in literary form. But oh no, they've got their own books, and they can't handle having two book series in two different universes for two different groups of fans. They had to destroy it for one lot so the other lot can have theirs and feel like they're superior, and their universe is the main one, the Prime universe. So I'm pretty disgusted by that, even though no, I haven't read a Star Trek book in years. The last book I read, I think, was I think it was actually the 30th anniversary collection of short stories, because I was reading the Strange New Worlds short story compilations for a while. I think they were the last things I was reading in Star Trek. I kept buying them, I just didn't have time to read them. But yeah, they're gone now. That whole universe is gone, destroyed. They found a way to wrap it up and explain it in canon universe, and destroy it within its own canon and within the other canon. So that's what I hear. I haven't read the books, but that's what I hear, and I think it's disgusting, and it's just so petty. I mean, and it's just so counterintuitive so far as business. Why wouldn't you have two book series in two different universes operating at the same time? One that supports your current TV shows, and one that, you know, continues to promote your older shows that you're still selling on to different stations and to different networks and streaming services, and selling merchandise of it. It's just sad, and it just makes me sad. So I had to talk about that. It deserved a video. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Yeah, RIP Star Trek. I mean, they killed it in live action, and then they killed it in the expanded literary fiction universe as well, because they just couldn't let it live.